Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Power Half Hour Unstoppable Business Owner. I'm your guest, I'm your host, not your guest, Dorothy Odell, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to bring Renee Cunningham as our guest tonight. Welcome to the show, Renee. And what better way to celebrate International Women's Day than to have Renee on our show, the diamond polisher, you know?
Well, thank you, Dorothy. First of all, you are correct. This is a time where, first, we didn't plan it this way, but I believe all things work together for good. My name is Renee Cunningham, and yes, International Women's Day, we are saluting women in every facet of their life, as well as the diversity that they bring to the table. And Dorothy, I'm going to tell them on both of us itself. It could be as little as lip gloss and lipstick.
I love that. I love that.
Celebrate each other. So thank you.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny because so many people were posting about it today and I completely forgot about it, to be honest. And a lot of people were like tagging me in this post and that post. And I was just like, damn, I got to do something. So, it came up in my memories on Facebook and I just reposted it. And of course, added, those amazing women that have helped me along the way. I don't know about you, Renee, but I'm sure because you are just such an amazing, dynamic person. But we have our tribe, and it's very important as women to have our tribe, to let each other straighten our crowns, allow ourselves to be who we are, but allow us not to stop and quit on ourselves. So
you said a mouthful. So
yeah.
Having your tribe is so important in this day and time. And that is a part of my company itself. I'm really focusing on that SHINE acronym. And that S stands for surround yourself with diamond individuals. And diamond really, to me, means the people that have went through things, had experiences, have come through successfully, but also keep a positive attitude, knowing that the light still shines in them and through them. It's all about who you surround yourself with. It could be cloudy outside, but hey, guess what? It's a rainbow coming over here. So what are we doing? Look to the rainbow versus, oh my God, I stepped in this puddle of water. It's about perspective, but it's the people that you surround yourself that really can speak into your life to change your trajectory. So I am grateful for you being in my life. And the way we met, it was just because of collaboration. And we wanted to this year move into an arena where we're able to support each other, share ideas, but also to give a message to all that you deserve to shine. Things in life that may have happened to you, and if you take those negative things and let it bury you, you will be like the piece of coal. But because of the collaboration, building out, reaching out, saying, hey, I need some help, or joining a class, or it could be as simple as reading. I love YouTube University. I don't know about you, but getting out there and connecting with individuals is really going to make the difference as we move forward in this next generation. We came outside, but came outside to what? What did you bring outside with you? Are you willing to help other people? Are you willing to support and connect? And Dorothy, I appreciate connecting with me.
Well, thank you so much, Renee. And I appreciate you too. And you said so much in what you said too, because really, if we rise together, I forget, there was a poem by a famous woman and I forget her name, but it was Rise. And I just remember it.
I think it was Maya Angelou.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. And that is so important that we all rise together. Now, men too. I mean, there's been some, it's come to my attention in the arenas that I've worked for with last year with our veterans that, men's vulnerability and things like that. So we are going to give them their own day. I'm working in collaboration with a couple men and having a powerful panel of men come up and talk about men's vulnerability. So stay tuned for that. But yes, today we are celebrating us women. And thank you so much. I love that. So let's get to you here because this half hour is all about Renee Cunningham. And I love that you said SHINE. So tell us more about that, the acronym SHINE for you and your business.
For me, I truly believe that you have to have receipts in this business, in this world itself. You have to have had experience. I actually heard a speaker previously talk about it, and it kind of made real good sense to me, is that we have a difference between wisdom and knowledge. And knowledge is what our children have, or our young people. We love you. Thank you for the knowledge. I believe in reverse mentorship. But the wisdom that I bring to the table, the wisdom that Dorothy brings to the table, the wisdom that individuals have been through at either raising children, dealing with parents, having to work in corporate America, now being entrepreneurs, all that lends to where we're at now and allows us opportunity to really shine. So my SHINE acronym really, S stands for surround yourself with your diamond tribe. H is where you honor the shero in you, especially since it's International Women's Day. Honor who
Shiro.
on the
I love
shero.
that.
Honor her.
Oh.
I do an exercise with my people, especially my the individuals that I coach, and it's called the top 10 diamond list. And these things, really, you want to go back over your life and say, what can I toot my own horn with? Because we've been taught sometimes as women not to, you need to be humble and be seen, be seen and not heard. But you've done some things in your life. You've accomplished things. You won awards. You made that dinner, cooked it. You probably killed the cow that got it and made sure that everything was all well, and then took care of your children and did the homework. Put that down on that list so you can honor the shero in you. Then you want to ignite your passion. All of us have had passions, and they may have went along the side itself. I love the color. That's one of my, and I love to see color itself. That passion is really grown up in me, where that I'm attracted to people with color, people with attitude, people with personality itself. N stands for nurture. Nurture you, really taking the time to nurture who you are and what you bring to the table. There's a term that's popular now, and I don't know if you've heard it, Dorothy, it's called the soft life.
I have not heard that.
It is.
Tell me more.
Yes, it is where women now are taking time and seeing that really you can't be burnt out in this world. You can, because you're going, but it does not help you. If something happens to you, the family's still going to go on, the church is still going to go on, your job is still going to go on. Taking that time to live the soft life means to take those self-care breaks, mental breaks, massages, going on vacation, taking time to meet and hang out with your girls so that you're refreshed, the soft life.
I love that. I love every aspect of it. And I just want to say something right here. As somebody who has a grandmother, from the age of from a very young age, it was drilled into my head, you have to take care of your man. So, back then though, they didn't have to work full-time jobs, and it was it's expected to have dinner on the table when your man walks through the door. Be like Judy Cleaver. Judy Cleaver. Yes. Yes. And this day and age, it takes a woman to work plus some in order to get ahead in life. But we're still expected to cook, clean, do laundry, take care of the kids, manage the finances, do everything. And a lot of us women are getting burnt out. So I love that you said that. And it's just within the last, I would say, year that I'm just like, well, wait a minute, guys, I'm important too.
That's right.
And if I don't put my oxygen mask on first, then how can I continue to take care of you? Because I know there's been times, in just speaking personally, that I walk in the door and I want to cry and want to turn around and walk right back out. And just like, okay, I can't continue to do this. And my husband's amazing. And if I ask, he'll do it. But then, getting past that mentality, well, he should just know. No, ladies, he doesn't know, because you have to communicate to him.
You do.
And, when we figure that out, life goes a lot better. Trust me.
We won't have as many heart attacks. That black widow. A lot of women die of heart attacks or have heart attacks because they're continually moving. Oh, I'll be fine. Do you all remember it was a young lady that she wrote a book called Don't Eat the Burnt Toast?
I did not hear that, but I will look into it.
From Wisteria Lane, everybody that's out there. It was a show that was on ABC, and it was the Housewives, and it was an ABC show. And the young lady that wrote the book, she told a story how, as a mother, we always end up eating the burnt toast, and she had to make a commitment to herself that she was worth more than that. It's because we always doing the leftovers. We're always making sure everybody else eats and takes care of itself while we're breaking down. There's an increase in mental health, as well as heart attacks, and then even dementia. So many people now, I can't remember. What did I say? Where did I go? Or I can't even say dementia. This phone, many of you all know that. We will have it on our ear. Where's my phone at? Or your glasses. Where are my glasses? Because we're doing too much. So taking the time to nurture yourself is so important. And I too agree as well. I have an excellent husband, been married for 25 years, been dating, as I say, my high school best friend for 30. And he means well. He does wonderful things for me. It's nothing that he wouldn't do for me. But like you said, he would do it if I asked. And I had to get out of my own way and say, you know what, Renee, you better start asking. Because otherwise, you will be sitting here trying to mop the floor, make the food, make sure this bill is paid, take this child to swimming, take this child to basketball, and running back and forth. And when, like I said, when you get home, I'm the type of person, I used to sit in the driveway and just sit in the car. Like, I just need 5-10 minutes to myself. Foolishness. So it allows you the opportunity really to focus in, and that's the E, is elevating your life. If you do those things to shine, finding out who you are and really putting priority on yourself, you will elevate your life. You will have a better quality of life. So that's what the Polished Experience, my life coaching company, really focusing on. And my clients, I deal with the emerging entrepreneur, that entrepreneur that said, you know what, I've been in corporate America and I'm ready to transfer or transition. And then those individuals that may have had a business for a while and like, you know what, I want to step up my game. That's why I'm here to walk alongside with them to discover, refine, as well as to shine in their lives. So I'm enjoying the journey. Like a lot of people, it changed for me. I have 25 years experience in banking and finance, but I always found myself being the go-to, the expert, and being the individual. At one point, you probably remember this, where one time you were the mentee. As you talk about international women, because I'm not here by myself. I stand on the shoulders of beautiful women. My grandmothers, which are 97 years old out of Mississippi, and my mother and aunties and individuals from church. And I feel myself sometimes as I'm either your big sister, your big cousin, that young lady at church that you knew she was going to make it, or that one that you wanted to walk into a bank or to a branch and say, hey, can you help me? Because I was relatable. I've taken that level of experience and now being able to help individuals to own it themselves. So the Polished Experience was born out of that. And shining is what we have to do. We all came out. We're outside now, as people say. If we're outside, like I said, what we outside to do? And that's to shine.
I love all of that. I'm just going to quickly go to the comments here. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. He says, Happy International Women's Day. He says you become selfish to become selfless.
I love that.
And he agrees with you, Renee. So true. It's the same in business. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Right. Absolutely. And so, okay, so I got to say, I did this speech and I forgot about that I did this. It wasn't really a speech. It was last May. We were at a women's retreat and I was a guest speaker. And so I quickly put together, because I'm talking about everything. I can talk about anything and everything. I think I've experienced just about everything in life. And so instead of saying, why me? I'm like, why not me? Because that way I can help other women, right? And so I did this whole speech on becoming an asshole.
Oh,
yes. So, and there was, I think, 10 women in the room and we were sitting in a circle. And so I shared a little bit about my story. I don't even remember what the topic was. I'm sure I got it somewhere in my computer. Anyway, so I asked the women, I went around the room and I asked the women, if you could have anything in the world right now, what 3 things would you ask for? And, some women knew right away. Some women knew but wanted to change their mind after we went around the room. And some women were still afraid, even like they said it, but then they were like, no, can I change that answer afterwards? And I was just like, and then I asked them how they felt about asking for those 3 things. Yeah. And I was not getting on the spectrum from a couple felt great. Another was like, that was really hard because they, we're so used to taking care of everybody else that we don't know what we want or what to even ask for anymore. Yeah. And, and the Bible says, ask and it is given to you. Yeah. And, but we're still afraid to ask for it. I mean, like seriously. And so that's why lately, I don't know why, at the end of my show, I, especially on the Monday night show, I had brought up my wand and I said, okay, if you could have 3 wishes, what would they be? And so it's funny when I do this, the people actually answer me, and within like 10 minutes, I can have their wish granted by either the people that I know or the people that are in the comments. And it is hilarious how it all works out. Like Monday night, for those of you that you watched the replay, you didn't miss it. You haven't completely missed it. We had said that I had wrote a song, and Toby was there. He was the one that produced it and put music to it and sang it. Absolutely. If you haven't heard of it, let me know and I'll get you the link to that. But anyways, he said he was looking for an album cover. So he needs an album cover for one of his albums. So wouldn't you know, my friend Jessica's in the comments, and Jessica's just like, well, I can help with that. And then our fundamentals guest says, well, I know somebody else that could help you with that too. So it's something he's been struggling with for 2 years, has not said anything. All of a sudden we're asking and it is given like that.
The power of your tongue, life and death is truly in the power of the tongue. And just like Paul said, if you don't ask, no one will know it. So if you ask not, you have not. And the thing about it is that I went to a class, I think it was about in the end of the year, about having your big audacious ask. What is that going to be? Right. What's the one that's going to make you just a little bit scared and you almost want to pee? What's that one? That's the one you want to ask, because you never know. The universe is ready to give it to you. I honestly believe if it didn't rise up, it wasn't time for it. But if it rose up, it's time for you to say it. And fear is that false evidence appearing real. Yeah. It is something that, and you probably have had this happen to you. The thing that you fear was actually your gift. The thing that you fear was actually the key to unlock your door. Being in the Missouri area here, what I found is that you're one person away from your dream job, your dream opportunity, your dream positioning in your life. But if you never get into the room, throw your hat in the ring, open up your mouth, it will never happen. And I can see that I'm a true testament of that. After I had that big audacious act and they gave us some guidelines in December, I began going on LinkedIn. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And looking at a variety of individuals, because I am a motivational speaker, but everybody may have a message or not have a message. But I understand the push behind my message, and that it's time to pour into others, that I needed to expose it to other people just besides the folks that just know me locally. I'm originally from Detroit. I moved to the Missouri area, and I'm knowing individuals, meeting different individuals, but it's global. And that message really is that we have to pour into the next. And pouring into the next is going to require time. It's going to require patience, but it's also going to require a tenacity to really listen to them, to receive what they have to say, and allow them the opportunity to build that trust with you.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so powerful now. So I'm ready for you when you ask me mine, because I got a couple of things that I really know that in order to push to the next level, is bigger than me.
Right.
It's bigger than me. So
I love that. And well, when you come home to Detroit, let me know, because like I'm the neighbor to Detroit. So I am like, girlfriend, we're getting together for sure. Because I would love that. And you're so right. There's just so much that you have said. Like we could talk probably for hours about this subject, but and just really asking for what you want, and then knowing that it's going to be there, but being okay that if it doesn't appear exactly how you thought it was, because God's always going to give it to you, but in his timing, in his way, and his ways are always better than our ways, right? So
because he knows that first of all, you may have been thinking a little bit too small. You thought you was just going to be you and your 3 girlfriends. No, he wanted you and the entire block to enjoy it. He wanted you in the entire, Eastern or Western hemisphere to enjoy it, because what you have is life-changing. My mom and I are talking about this generational thing. When I talk about pouring into the next, and how foundations, many of us know that our grandparents, like you talk about your mom and our grandparents, they had foundation and boundaries. Each generation said, oh, I don't want those boundaries. That's just, they were just being too strict. So they let, I'm not going to teach my child that. Oh, no, we don't have to go every time. They'll be fine. Each generation gets a little bit lax, whether they forget about that. And I began to talk about, remember when the children of Israel came across the Red Sea and he told them to pick a stone at the bottom. Everybody bring a stone, and to tell and remind your children and tell them of the story of how they were made free and how God delivered them. The only way that we're going to help this next generation is that we got to tell them the victory stories. Yes. So they'll understand, first of all, that they can do it, that it's a part of your right and your legacy to do it. And more importantly, that inward part that you're trying to do, it doesn't have to be that hard because we paved the way. You don't have to make it again.
That's right.
Just follow in these footsteps. We promise we'll take you somewhere beautiful.
I love that. And you know, I'm thinking right now of my ancestors and stuff, and like, you know, what they've done, what they accomplished, and then what we can accomplish. Yes. Especially with the way technology is now versus where they had. I mean, like my grandfather worked 3 jobs, you know, to put food on the table. Of course, they had 5 kids back then, and back then, like a loaf of bread was not almost $4 like it is now.
It's getting ridiculous.
It is getting ridiculous, right? And especially if it's keto bread, which I found in the States on my way home on Sunday. Keto bread, like seriously, but it was $4.50 US. Yes. I mean, so that's close to almost $6 a loaf here for Canada if you translate it. So, you know, but I mean, you Americans have so many more variety over there than we do here in Canada. So Canada, get your crap together. Let's go. Like, we need to have these varieties.
Y'all have is positive too, but I'm gonna have to get your address and I'll mail you some.
Perfect.
Costco or something. Mail you some.
I got Auntie Millie, Aunt Millie, I guess is the name of the bread, and I was just like, damn, I got to see if I can order that somewhere and have it shipped over here. Or I mean, literally, I'm 5 minutes from the border, so I could go myself. But anyways, that's a whole other issue. Deliver, exactly. So okay, so normally I ask, what 3 things did you overcome to get to where you're at in business today, Renee?
So first, I would say it was mindset. I am I would say an adventurer / rebel / I like to, let me see what it does. I want to try things of that nature when it comes to experiences, food, meeting people, things of that nature. But when it was time for me to really sit back and say, how do I want to present myself in this world and be a business owner? I had to really check myself in my mind. So once I in turn did the work on myself, as far as being able to outline my list, I have affirmations, songs, things of that nature, surrounding myself with the perfect individuals that allow me the opportunity to really bounce things off of. I was ready to step out in confidence. And it's not that I didn't know it. It is just I didn't trust the steps. There's a part in the Black Panther movie, in the very first one, where that as they walked in this cave itself, but as they walked, the steps rose up to meet them each time. And what I found in my life, that God has done it just like that for me. If I take the step, the road is going to rise up to meet me. And I'm trusting that, and I'm able to impart that wisdom into others. The second thing that I would say that I overcame was basically COVID, being in the house, and then that fear of what was going to be outside. Both my parents were diagnosed or had COVID, and unfortunately my father passed from it. And how does that world look now? Thank you. Without him being in it, what relationship my mom and I, is she going to be okay where she's at? What are we going to do as a family, because we no longer live in Detroit? She's there by herself. What type of support system for her? So that was something that I had to overcome mentally. Many women understand this at 3 a.m. in the morning, waking up thinking, what about this and all that good stuff. So being able to put a plan in action so that success on both ends, so we all can rest. And then thirdly, honestly, was that as a woman, I can do all things, but what is the perfect thing for me to do right now? What is the most effective thing for me to do now? To be able to narrow it down so that I'm able to shine bright in this world. Because I truly believe, Dorothy, is that God gives you, and you can probably see, God gives you the gift, and your job is to give it to the next person. It's a line.
Yeah.
It's a line. And if you don't receive it and you hold on to it, the next person suffers. So I would coin it as I really worked in on walking around with an open hand, being able to receive and to give life and blessings and experience versus a closed hand, being scared, being afraid of what's next, and not being able to let go, let other people experience me in fully. So those are the three things that I've overcome that allow me the opportunity to be who I am today. And guess what? Girl, I turned 50 this year, and this diamond life is amazing. I'm telling everybody, yes.
That's awesome.
A freeing experience because I know that where I've been and the road that I've traveled has led me here, but there's so much more to go. So much more. It's so bright out here. So I'm excited about it. And those things really propelled me to where I'm at today.
Right. I love every single one of that. And that's funny because just before we went live, we were talking about that, you know, like we hold things so dear, and then if we just release them, it's like the pressure's off of us, and we don't even, I'm speaking for myself, like I didn't even realize that I was holding on to that so dearly, like some of the things that, you know, I've wanted. And it's funny because I went to do a dream board, and you know, last year I had like all these things on my dream board, and I had all these aspirations, and wanted to make $60 million in my business, and this and that, and I still do, don't get me wrong. Yes. But I was driving myself crazy to the point where it was like if I didn't reach those goals, I was so disappointed that it almost took me out. Yes. And thank God I have an amazing business partner who helped me identify that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. And then, you know, I always say family is first, but was I acting like family was first? Right. Right. And so this year I said, you know what, less is more, ladies, less is more. Yeah. And so, yes, I have some goals, and yes, I'm going for them. But if it doesn't happen in the timeline that I want it to, I'm not going to be crippling disappointed. Right. Because that was one of my biggest takeaways from last year, was the huge disappointments. Like it's like, I mean, life is never a straight line, and we know that, right? Yes. It's up and downs, but when my valleys are low, my valleys are low, and I'm just like, you know what, I need to energetically be more on an even keel instead of all over the place. So I love that you said that.
I understand exactly. I do something called a brilliance board. And if anybody visits my website, you can get a copy of it for free, where I'm talking to them about how to set up your life in those different quadrants, and not just pictures, but putting action to it. The thing that you learn is that you put action to it, and you kind of, your dream board equivalent to the brilliance board has allowed you the opportunity to say, hey, what area of priority am I going to have? And the piece that I added to it was I gave myself a 40-day check mark. Because what I found is that I would have these boards, and by the end of the year, like you say, I would be on the floor like, oh, I didn't accomplish nothing. I didn't do anything. But every 40 days, I have an accountability team. And we just, what steps did you take towards any of the goals? And we celebrate them. We're so busy focusing on the negative. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. And this didn't happen, that we forget that you did open the bank account. You said you wanted a business account. You did open it. You did think of the business name. You were able to make progress. And if you continue to make progress, you will find out, just like they say, you can't eat a pie whole. You got to take it one bite at a time. We take it one bite at a time, Dorothy.
Exactly. I love that. Yes. It's funny because on today's post I had put, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Oh my goodness, we are in
sync. Like it was in sync today, man. I love that. So, you know, I like being the fairy godmother. Woo, I'm going to wave my magic wand. And what 3 wishes would you like, Renee? If you could have anything in the world, what 3 wishes would you say that you would like right now?
First of all, I have a television docuseries that I'm working on. I had the idea last year. It's called Shine Bright with Renee. I am looking for people to partner with me regarding that, production, videographers, individuals that really want to pour into a documentary that's going to help generations. So I'm looking for people to partner with me with that. The second thing I would truly love, because I have 2 sons, and as I tell people, I am the queen in this house. And the queen in this house allows me the opportunity to really look out and see what's best for them. I have a 19-year-old that's in Oneonta, New York, that's at Hartwick as a swimmer. And then I have a 17-year-old senior here in the Missouri area. And what I'm looking for them is send them so people that I trust to pour the right thing into them. Remember when we had somebody down the street or someone that was close to us that was able to pour into us. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, what's going on? The last thing is that in October this year, if it's going to be in here in Missouri or if it's going to be in Detroit, but I want to do something called a Shine Conference where I want to bring together women. And we're not just going to do pedicures, manicures, and all that stuff. We want to do the inward work so we can shine from the inside out. So I'm looking for individuals to help me with that, either working on the board, if they have some sponsorship, or if they want to be a part of it itself. I would love the opportunity to work with them.
Wow. Those are powerful goals. And the internet kind of like, it was like going out when you were talking about your son. So what was the wish you needed for your sons?
I want them to have an internship, a community so I have one that's a swimmer that's into arts. So I'm looking for either some type of internship with him, somebody that has a great eye and really want to invest in a young gentleman that just wants direction when it comes to art. And then I have my younger son, which is he's interested in sports management, being able to really partner with someone to help with internships with him, someone that I can trust, that we can trust, this community trust that that really want to pour in and help the next generation to be successful.
I love that. So if anybody's out there watching this episode, definitely, if you can connect Renee with anybody who is in the documentary, which I have a couple people, so that I've got covered. So mentorship for our son with the one with the arts and one. Sorry, what is your other? Oh, sports management. I was going to say sports, but it's funny because I am connected with a bunch of sports guys, so we'll see what we can do there. And then your vision that you have for bringing a day here with the ladies and leadership with that. So anybody who's interested in connecting with Renee on that and leading the way, helping in any way, definitely reach out to us and we will connect you with Renee.
Thank you. Yeah, you're going to have to come over the bridge or under the tunnel. You got to come on over. Yes,
of course. I absolutely will do that. I will be doing that. And we just want to thank you to our guests that showed up. I see Tim did come in here. So thank you, Tim. Always a great supporter here at Unstoppable Overcomers Productions. So thank you so much. Where's the best place where people can get a hold of you, Renee?
It's actually on my website. It's thereneeexperience.com. There is 2 E's and an X. So not 3, it's 2 E's. So the reneeexperience.com.
Perfect. And that information is in the show notes. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, Renee. You are just like a sparkling ray of sunshine on our show here today. And I just can't wait to see what collaborations we can definitely do together. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this time. And Dorothy, I am so happy for you. I'm so happy that you, and I'm going to this is a personal plug here, went and saw your friends and had a kiki good time this past weekend. Those unexpected sparkles is great. I'm so happy for you that you are living out loud and you're an example of what women can do if we come together. So thank you for this opportunity and time.
Absolutely. And yeah, thanks for bringing that up because it's funny. I was not going when that storm hit, I was not going, but we meet Saturday mornings. There's 8 of us that meet Saturday mornings, and something had come up in that meeting that one of our girls were going through. And, this could have potentially been the last time that we'd seen her for about 8 weeks. So I'm just like, oh, this is not going to happen. No, I got to get there somehow. Yes. So yeah, anxiety. And I was waiting for 4 hours. I was drove all the way to Indiana. I was just like, oh, girlfriend. And so, no, but she was just like, you have no idea how much I appreciate that. And so, yeah. And that's what we're.
Presence. The ministry
Yes.
of presence is going to take us. So I believe in relationship currency and the ministry of presence, Dorothy, and you exercise both.
Well, thank you. I didn't even think of that. Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor today, Be Oily with Bonnie. Bonnie, with all your oil, doTERRA oil needs, definitely get a hold of her. And her website is www.beoilywithbonnie.com, or you can give her a text at 810-414-0929. And thank you so much to everybody that is going to watch this on the replay, or definitely that didn't comment but is there. We know that we appreciate you. Be unstoppable in all that you do, and we'll see you same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.